Okay, so an exciting day here. We're gonna try our monthly market update by video for the first time. So let's see how this goes. The slides should all be right below the video here so that you can kind of follow along with me. The first thing to look at is always the total number of listings that we have right now in the market area. 1,582, which is obviously completely astronomical, in my opinion, totally unsustainable. It's coming off 1,410 from a year ago, so 12% increase, just over 12%. For those of you that have been reading for a while, you know I think we've way too much for sale inventory right now. And as we get down to the total months of inventory, you're going to see how it's really kind of out of line at the moment. New listings are down significantly from last year. At this point last year there was 370. It's 299 as of this month, so we dropped off 19%. We're coming off of 405 new listings last month, so hopefully this trend of kind of a downline of new listing continues. It'll certainly give some relief to some sellers. The real bombshell here is that we came off 148 sales in February of 2016 and went down to 95 sales in February of 2017. It's just a brutal number, 35.8% downward trend. It's not at all what I want to see. The sales velocity remains really slow. That being said, as always, some caveats. If you're priced well, if your property's in good condition, it can still move. But you just have to recognize that the market has some real challenges for you right now. We scroll over to the average price per square foot. We're about even from last year. Again, I don't give a ton of weight to this slide because depending what you're looking at, look, if you're looking at a single family waterfront home, this number is going to be completely non-applicable to you. But overall gives us a general feel of the market. You can see we're about where we were last year. Took an uptick from last month. So some decent news there. Median home pricing, again, the same thing. It depends what you're looking at. If you're looking at a one-bedroom condo in downtown, it's not going to relate versus looking at an oceanfront high floor unit. So, but anyways, decent yardstick for us to look at nonetheless. So year over year, our median pricing's up 9%. Not a bad stat. If we move on to months of inventory, this is, again, for sellers, this is just getting to be some brutal news here. We had 9.5 months of inventory February of 2016, which is a high number to begin with if you think that 6 months represents a level market, right? That favors neither buyers nor sellers. When you get above 6 months, we're going to start to favor buyers. Below 6 months, we're going to start to favor sellers. So when you come in with a year-over-year figure that climbs 75.6% from 9.5 to 16.7, it's a real wake-up call. If you're a seller, you have to understand just how many other sellers there are and how long this inventory is taking to move right now. Even from last month, we're up 21% from the 13.8 of last month up to the 16.7 of this month. So again, sellers, really something to take into consideration when you go into list as far as setting expectations go for how competitive you have to be on price, how competitive you have to be on condition. Average days on market, sales price to original list price, both right around 90. Again, once you put in financing time, recognize that this is days on market, right? That 90 days is how many days you've been on market actively listed. It doesn't count the time period of when you go under contract up until the time you close. So recognize you're going to have another 45 days here. A lot of stuff's getting financed now. A lot of the cash deals are not as prevalent as before. A lot of people trying to take advantage of the low rates now while they can. So just understand that you're looking at a real 6-month time frame if you're priced pretty well, that you're going to be on market from the time you list to the time that you close. So just kind of pencil that in. Some of my other commentary for the month. If we look at a lot of the downtown units, it's interesting because they're still building a lot of units in Flagler. Of course, nothing is for sale. Everything is all going to be a rental product. If you bought during the downturn, now may be a decent time to get out, because that rental supply is really going to affect you, right? You're going to see a pullback, and we already are. A lot of these new complexes just want a $500 security deposit, no first, no last, no common area deposit. If you own in Waverly or New River or Symphony or any of those buildings, you're going to feel it if you bought for investment and you have a rental tenant. Now, that being said, the reason I say it may be a decent time to sell is we have a lot of these buyers that are living in some of the $2,700 a month rent apartments that are now looking to move full-time into a condo. So there is a market for that. Building that I do find interesting right now, and I've always liked, is 350 Las Olas. Probably the best pool in all of Fort Lauderdale, roof deck pool. Great amenities in the building, well taken care of. Fantastic location. I mean, you're a block off Las Olas. There's 21 units for sale right now. I see a lot of stuff coming up between $300 and $350 a foot. I think it's a great buy at that price, especially when you see the new things coming to market. Granted, it's luxury buildings, and 350 Las Olas is pretty amenity rich, but you're looking at them going up against some of the new construction, which is $600 a foot. I think it's a really good buy at that $300, $350 a range. Las Olas River House, 39 units for sale right now. I think there's some panic selling going on due to 100 Las Olas. That it's going to be a large building built right in front of the River House. Obviously, you have to deal with the noise of construction, and so I think there's some panic selling in there. If you're a buyer, I think it's a good building to look at if you're looking in the luxury price points. I think it's definitely worth a look if you don't want oceanfront. If you do want oceanfront, I think there's a few things that are interesting over there. Fort Lauderdale Beach, they've done a lot of renovations in the building. Those units are performing really well now. So if you're somebody who's not going to be here full time, you're looking for a bit of an investment product. If I was looking at condo hotels, that would be the one right now that's constructed that I would gravitate towards. I still like the Gale for pre-construction more than any other project around. It's a known developer, the price point's lower, and you're going to be able to put those units, you'll be able to opt out of the condo hotel program, rent them yourself through Airbnb and things like that. I think it's very interesting. And now I was just talking about being downtown and finding a great buy between $300 and $350 a foot. How about Marbella Townhomes? You're looking now at below $400 a foot, and you're one block off the beach. If you're looking at a luxury product and you want to be near the ocean, I really think that this is something that's going to hold up. I really like it on the buy side a lot. So those are some of my thoughts for this month. As always, thank you for reading, or in this case watching, and we'll talk to you next month.